Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome to Needles at the Ready. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Ray.
This is episode 95 of our knitting podcast where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing, felting, and now sock or tube cranking.
Cranking.
So,
We are
today
crankers.
is September 16th, 2023, and we hope you all are doing well.
Yes. We are enjoying a very early burst of fall.
Oh, it's such a cool day. I have sweatpants on, a sweatshirt, and a hat.
I know. I have shorts and a sweater on. It's lovely. Drinking some hot coffee.
I have some tea, Earl Grey.
Hot
tea. So welcome back to all the returning viewers, and welcome to any new ones. So you know what I was thinking, guys?
Tell me.
So we have this year could be, well, this year's a great year, but there's two milestones that we could, well, one we're definitely going to hit. Another one we could possibly hit. So we'll be hitting our 100th episode sometime in November or December. It actually will depend on the next episode if we're able to record. So we're either going to go 2 weeks or 4 weeks between episodes because in 2 weeks we're pretty busy.
We're pretty busy after this weekend.
For the next 7 weeks.
Right.
But
it's all good busy.
It is. But we're not sure if we're going to be able to record in 2 weeks. So we're going to have a 100th episode coming up, which we have to
We
think
should
of
plan
what
something.
to do.
Give us some ideas down below. What should we do for a 100th episode?
But the other thing that we're kind of close to, and it'd be really cool if we could hit it like right at 100 episodes, is we're almost at 20,000 subscribers.
No.
Kind of.
No.
Well, we're almost at 19,000.
Don't say that. That's bizarre and wild.
So
and silly.
Help us get to 20,000 subscribers by the 100th episode.
Okay. We usually don't ask those things.
I know we don't, but it would be fun.
If you watch us and you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Click that button, ring that bell, ding, ding, ding. And invite your friends to do the same. I don't know. Okay, that's bizarre.
Okay,
so
2 weeks. How have they been?
You know, I will start by letting you all know that we're usually not prepared, and you know that, but we are more not prepared than we ever have been, I think, before. Right?
Maybe.
So the past 2 weeks have been pretty, not dull, have been pretty calm, which has been nice. You were not feeling well.
Correct. So I was not feeling well the last episode, and I probably was out of commission until that following that Thursday. Yeah. Was the first day where I was like, 75, 80%, and I was able to do stuff.
It was not COVID. You tested like 5 times.
I tested 5 days in a row. Yes.
Yep.
I did not. All my tests came back negative. And it was weird. My only symptom was like pure exhaustion, where I could barely get up off the couch.
It's probably my fault. I'm an exhausting person.
Well, ain't that the truth? And then that following weekend, you weren't feeling well.
Again. I came home Friday night and I wasn't feeling well. I was also really tired, but luckily it only lasted like 2 or 3 days. So that weekend was kind of a wash. 2 weekends in a row. But that weekend, we got a special delivery, which was like months in the waiting, but it went by really, really fast. So we got our sock machine. We got the Erlbacher Speedster.
Correct.
Or it's something else Speedster.
No.
Oh.
The Speedster in a custom color. We picked the color Husky Blue.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So it came last Saturday. We set it up immediately and just started trying to crank Saturday night. And it took us a little bit to get like the tension right.
Took us a lot.
Luckily, there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there. And we found, and I wish I could remember her name. We found a woman who's been cranking tubes for a while, and she has a binder.
Oh,
and she just said that she had found a certain number of clicks worked for the tension of a typical 75-25 464 yard base. So we went to that, and we've been pretty successful with that setting so far.
Yeah, once we will show you all of our journey so far with the sock machine, including some pretty gnarly mistakes and all of those things. But by the end of it, we were able to successfully crank a couple of tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
and my mom came over Sunday, right? Was that Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came over last Sunday.
She came over that Sunday. We hung out, knitted.
Watched some podcasts.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much...
Yeah.
It's pretty much what we've been doing. It's been nice. Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll jump into some admin stuff.
Great.
So a couple things.
We've got some things coming to an end.
We currently have our Let's Hear It for the Boys Mal ends at the end of the month. We have a coupon code from Leading Men Fiber Arts, who sent us a fantastic prize.
Yes.
This code is good until the end of the month. And I'm waiting for our show notes to pop up so I can discuss that code. It is... All right, so it is, if you use the code NATRBOYS, you'll get 15% off your order, and they offer free domestic shipping on orders over $20.
Yeah,
so definitely check Leading Men Fiber Arts.
And they offer complimentary...
ball winding on 50-gram skeins or larger. So it'd actually be a really good time, too, if you are thinking about doing the Stephen West MCAL and you haven't made a kit, check out their site for some kits or build your own and take advantage of that coupon code because that's coming up next month. And again, we have a bunch of coupon codes in our show notes from... So we have the Leading Men, we have Naughty Knitting Sacks, Trilogy Yarn, Knit Swag, Lila Styles, Always Queenie Believe, Katie Did Bags, Scrappy Angel, Stitchy Squid, Maker Wool, and the Modern Skein.
Yeah.
So check those out. Once this make along wraps up, we're going to do a crochet along in October and November.
Really excited about this.
So all you hookers, get your hooks ready.
Woohoo! Or if you have not hooked before,
yeah, it'd be a good time to become a hooker.
Let's all become hookers.
So we're going to do that. We're going to have some pattern giveaways from Austin Crochets. He is, I believe it's 2 that he is offering for 2 of his patterns. So we'll have those. We'll have more information in the next podcast.
Yes.
And maybe some like suggestions on stuff to make. So that is coming up. And then in 2 weeks, on the 30th of September, we are going to be wrapping up our Ho-He Summer Knit Along with mYak. And we will be wrapping that up at Brooklyn General, which carries mYak.
Yes.
So we will be there on Saturday the 30th.
Yes. And we're finalizing some details, but we're planning on being there. We're going to do a live Zoom from the shop to wrap things up with Paula. And if you can't make it to the shop, you can certainly pop on to that Zoom. So be sure that you're following our Instagram account as well as Paula's, although she's probably a little bit better at posting than we are. So go ahead and follow mYak on Instagram. And so we'll be doing a Zoom, I believe, around noontime.
I think so.
Yep. And then we're going to be hanging out at the shop and doing like a little meet and greet type of situation between somewhere around 2 or
between
so,
2 and
between
4.
like 2 and 4. And we'd love to see you. So if you're in the area or you want an excuse to get down to Brooklyn, give us a little visit down at Brooklyn General. Yeah. We're very excited to go down there. We are looking at some hotels. We're going to go down Friday. That's the plan. Stay overnight Friday night, and then hang out at the shop all day, and then take the train home. We're very lucky that it's just a train ride for us down there. And I don't feel like we don't want to drive through the city in Brooklyn. That would be...
I don't want to do that. And then next weekend, we're going to make a quick little trip and stop to Skein Yarn Shop because they're having a Red Stag Fiber Trunk show, and we would like to see Josh's yarn in person. Yes. And I'm actually going to attempt to dye my Stephen West MCAL colors today. I'm going to test some colors. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to get 2 of his colors to go with the 2 colors I already have. That's
really good. Plus, we're having some severe FOMO for DFW.
Yeah.
We were, so anyway, there'll be our little chance to kind of support some Texas makers.
Yeah. So that's
because we need an excuse to head over to these yarn shops, and especially Skein, which is so lovely. So we are going to be bringing my mother along as well. If you're in the area, pop over, say hello. Yeah. And then yeah, we've got a lot of things going on. We're definitely doing, we talked about this, we're definitely doing Woolen Folk and Rhinebeck. We got an Airbnb with some dear friends of ours. We're going to head up on Thursday and stay till about Monday.
We come home Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have a nice long weekend there. We're going to try to do all of the fun things.
Yeah, and then we just have a bunch of family stuff. We have birthdays and christenings, and we have stuff, just scheduled with friends. So it's really...
I'm actually very much looking forward to a fire pit night.
I can't
I think it's been a long time.
It's been a long... Yeah, it has been. So I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm loving the idea of fall and all of those things. I say at work that this is like our time to shine as like knitters and crafters and things, and
I know we get to wear it all.
Love that.
All right. I think that's everything.
Hygge
right?
kind of feeling.
So we'll get into some knitting. What are you wearing?
Thanks. It's been a while since we were able to say, "Hey, what are you wearing?"
No,
although we did that last week. This is the Parish Lines 2.0 by Beth McDonald Stone, who has a new podcast from Bermuda. So I can't remember the name of it. I think it's just called Beth McDonald Stone.
I think so.
She's such a lovely person. We met up with her last year at Rhinebeck.
Was that the first time we met her?
We met her the year before on the hill, I think, just to say hello.
Okay.
But that was the first time that we actually got to like hang out.
Last year.
Yeah.
And then New York. Vogue. We went out to dinner at Vogue.
That was Vogue.
Yes.
You know how things just kind of blend all together. So that was Vogue. So thank you.
So you were thinking dinner was Rhinebeck.
I did.
No,
it totally wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Dinner was Vogue.
Okay.
Which still hands down.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, Ray really is. So I was actually talking to Chip and Aaron yesterday. I was like, Ray's just the face. He's the face.
I need a haircut, but this is the face.
He's the face of Needles at the Ready, and then...
You're such a weirdo.
I just do everything else.
I work.
I do
on
too.
Needles at the Ready. I help. I answer emails. I respond with emojis to comments. I'm definitely the emoji person. And
I use emojis all the time now.
Yeah, because now you found out how to do it.
Yeah, it's easier.
I think you can say a lot with an emoji.
Yeah.
Like a properly placed emoji, you can certainly say a lot.
Yes. Speaking of podcasts, another one of our friends started a podcast.
Yes, she did. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Angel from the Scrappy Angel started a podcast. We, do I have one of her bags here?
I do. I put mine over there.
Oh, I just put mine over there. I put my owl one over there. So, I think last time I showed it, recently I showed one, I won one of her bags from Chip and Aaron of the Fiber Hustle for Pride Bingo. And I love her wireframe bags. Again, she's the first maker I saw with them, and this was 2 years ago. So, just really high quality bags. So
she's a high quality individual.
She is. Love her. I don't know if she's going to Rhinebeck this year.
I thought she had something. I'm not sure either.
I don't know.
But I would love to. Hopefully she does. I would love to give her a hug.
So check out The Scrappy Angel and Beth McDonald Stone, 2 new podcasts. And thank you all for checking out This Thread of Gold. That was really cute because she commented on the last video. I didn't see the
comment, did she?
Yeah,
oh,
she
that's
did.
cute.
So that was Nicole. So thank you guys for going to check
Nicole
her out.
Nicole had her...
her partner on. The one that we watched. We watched, I think it was episode 3 with her partner. Yeah. And it was a fantastic episode.
Yeah, it was funny. He's so supportive, you can tell. Yeah. But it's, for a non-knitter. And we were just talking about this last night. No, on Wednesday with my mom. We were hanging out with her. And just talking about, like, as a new knitter, how alien this world could be. When I was even crocheting, like, and Kevin was knitting, and I would go with him to Knit New Haven, our local yarn shop. And honestly, we would leave there, and I would say to him almost every time, like, I don't understand. You're speaking a completely different language. Is. Like, and it's so true. Like, we take for granted the knowledge that we gain, over the time, and think that people understand what we're talking about when we're like,
no clue.
Merino wool or something like that. Like, who knows? So it was just funny, like, how you can see he's trying to be very, very supportive and doesn't
with
really... With the sweater, trying to explain, like, his sweater and her knitting process. But for a non-knitter, it's interesting. Again, I don't know, I just found that really
he is a knitter now. He
yes.
He showed his whip.
Mm-hmm. But he ended up with an extra stitch, I think. So don't we all?
So, okay, so that's what you're wearing, Parish Lines.
Yes, and this is knit out of Holst yarn, garn, super soft. I don't remember the colorway.
Gray.
The gray. I think it's maybe just called gray. And then the color work here is Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks and Oyster Heather, I think, maybe?
No.
Okay. Do I have a project page? I actually might have a project page for this on Ravelry. I think I do.
Because I think, am I not mistaken, Oyster Heather is your stripe and your Montrealer?
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Which is like a beige?
Sure.
We love beige.
Carrie loves beige. Carrie, I had a blue undershirt here before I started for you specifically to say, hey, here's a pop of color, but I wasn't confident with the blue and the grays together. So anyway, I thought that this sweater, and I've talked about this before, was so much fun to knit. And I thought it was really interesting because the main yarn is fingering weight and the contrasting yarn is worsted weight. So you're doing all of your color work in worsted weight, and it really does a good job, if you see this up close, of really popping out those stitches.
Yeah.
And then what I love is that this is not ribbing. This is just color work in the neck here. I feel like this neck fits me very, very well. I opted for to bind off. I did a tubular bind off on the sleeves here in the contrasting color. It's not like that in the pattern, so I just kind of added that in there. And then the bottom of the sweater is more color work there. There's no ribbing, and it naturally rolls, which I actually like the rolled.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wash this one more time before Rhinebeck. I will definitely be wearing this at Rhinebeck because it is a fingering weight sweater. I'm very, very comfortable in that, and even if it's warm, which it has been in the past, I think a fingering weight sweater and some shorts,
yeah,
right up my alley.
Last year we both wore fingering weight sweaters on Saturday, and we were fine.
Yes,
and it was warm on Saturday.
Yep. So that's what I'm wearing. What
nice.
Are you wearing?
I am wearing a Leigh cap, which, if you guys have been around for a while, it's one of my favorite hat patterns. It's a DK weight. This is, I do not know the colorway name, and I bring it with me to every event that I know Into the World is at, so I can see if they have it. This is their Dresden DK base. This is one of my favorite freaking colors ever. I want a sweater.
This is your most worn hat, I think.
No, style. I have about 3 or 4 of these. So between this and my arbor, nope. This and my hatch hat,
yeah.
My orange hat is probably my most worn. Although I do have.
This is your wannabe comfy.
This is my comfy.
Yeah, it's your comfy hat.
This is my comfy hat. To me, it's like putting on a hug. It's so comfy and cozy. I wear it all the time. I actually am thinking about knitting another one. I forget where. I was looking at yarn the other day because I was looking for a DK weight for a sweater, and I pulled out some yarn, and I thought, oh, it might be time.
Hey, so if anybody knows anybody who works at Into the World, if you know what colorway that is.
Because here's another skein of Into the World. Oh, you know what? So I was looking at colors for a sweater. Where's the
This is really pretty. Is this one mine?
No, it's not yours. It's on my side.
We don't have sides anymore.
We do have sides.
No, I mix things up on purpose.
So I was actually going to knit a sweater out of these two for our nephew. This is Whiskey by Trilogy.
That's my absolute
which is
favorite colorway.
Seriously, one of our favorite colors.
Yeah. We have a coupon code for Trilogy Yarn down below if you want to check her out. She's got some really cool things happening.
So I was going to use these two, but I decided I didn't want to stripe in a baby sweater, so I didn't. But I think one of these is going to become a Leigh cap because I wear.
And those are both from DK.
Yeah, they're both DK, and it's a one size hat.
Yeah,
it's from Blue Sky Fibers. The pattern, and I think it's a perfect go-to hat. Really,
yeah.
5 rows of ribbing. I do 8. I think this one was my first one. I did 5, but now I do 8. Just to give me a little more rib, and then just follow the pattern, twisted rib, 1 by 1. I think.
Perfect.
Fantastic. So that's what we're wearing.
Great.
As far as knitting, let's see. I have no FOs and I have 4 whips, I think of.
Okay, I have no knitted FOs. I have a felted FO. I did it, y'all. I have a half-finished object. I'm going to count that as a half-finished object. I have a couple of tubes.
Yeah, I have one tube.
And then I have 2 works in progress that I've worked on. I haven't really... I've been
tube?
pretty monogamous.
Did I do this tube?
No.
Okay. All right, so let's go.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We're all together. So, I'm going to show you this first project, which also goes hand in hand with the giveaway that we had on the last podcast. And again, a reminder...
Use the G word.
I'm sorry. We'll never announce the winners of our prize thing within the comments of YouTube, and we didn't hear anything about it. I didn't see anything about it, so I think we were great. So this is the official announcement of the winner of a really cool... This is the kit that I used. I actually don't know where the other kit went to.
I think it's on the desk over there.
I didn't see it, but this is the Gnome of the Year felting kit from Going Gnome. It's really cool. They did a collaboration with CC's Wool, who created a really cool colorway. So, and you'll see it in a second. So the giveaway was the felting kit and a full skein of that special colorway, which I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. I mentioned it last time. Maybe if we find it, or if I remember it,
It's on your desk.
I'll pop it in there. Okay. So, not the reason why, I love these kits so much because they give you detailed instructions on what to do, but it leaves a lot of room for creativity. So you can change they include different flesh tones, so you can have different color gnomes. You can mix and match all of those things. You choose the shape that you want of the gnome, their personality. But this is what you get in every kit. It's a pamphlet with some step-by-step instructions and pictures. And then, they really give you some questions like, do you want to have a bigger butt in your gnome? Does your gnome have a belly? Is your gnome tall? Is your gnome short? So you kind of like create all those things. What's wrong? You gonna sneeze? So anyway, Nostrovia. So, also with those kits, it comes with the felting needles, all of the wool. Bless you. You will need a surface to felt on. So, and both of mine are over there.
I don't know if
I thought I had a second one. Or a third one, or a fourth one. I don't know. We've got so many of them.
Look what I just found, another oil cap.
Oh, that's a really nice one.
This is 7th floor yarns.
Ooh. Okay, so you are ready to see this? So, like I said, you'll need a felting surface. You can use a foam pad. You can use...
yeah, they sell them on their website. They're super thick, about 3 to 4 inch thick foam pads.
Yeah. All right, so here it is. Hey.
He's cute.
Isn't he so cute? So he's all tangled up in the yarn, because don't we all love getting tangled up in our projects? I did a little extra point on the end. I thought it was really funny, and I thought it looked like the yarn got snagged really tight and kind of crimped that over. I mean, you get very creative. This gnome actually had instructions for legs, which you usually don't in the gnome kits. Oh, I don't know where my gnomes are. Oh, what happened? He got crushed. So you usually create legs by just felting in the middle there. But this one had individual legs and feet. So I made little boots.
Was this Red Eye?
For him. That's Blue Eyes. The Red Eye was a Santa.
Oh.
Remember? And then, I opted to not use up the entire, you get a mini skein in the kit as well. I opted to not use up the entire mini skein because I thought it was cute that the ball could just fit right in his lap. And with this kit, you can create his pose however you want to. There are some suggestions in there. You can have him laying down and sleeping all raveled up. Like, He worked really, really hard to try to unravel all the yarn and then just got so tired that he fell asleep. So I thought it was fun just to kind of pose him like that. I think he's cute.
Yeah.
I think he's very, very cute. So these kits are on sale. But without further ado, the code word that we wanted to use was the word gnome. So we went through our last video and selected the comments that used the word gnome. And how do I? Oh, all photos. I'm still trying to learn how to use technology. It's only 20.
It's rough around here sometimes, guys. I'm not kidding.
But it's okay. Thank you for having patience with me 20% of the time. The winner of this Going Gnome commented, "This is the cutest gnome ever. Haven't felted a project yet. Guess what? Now's your lucky chance. You get to felt a project." So this is Andrea Doringo.
You know,
Andrea, if this is you, or if you see this, please shoot us an email at needlesatthereadypodcast@gmail.com. The email address is linked down below. And we will get your address and contact information, and we'll go ahead and ship out the skein of yarn as well as the kit for the Going Gnome felting project. So thank you all for jumping in. We had almost 500 entries that used the word gnome in the last video. So so congratulations. That was really, really exciting. We do have another prize to
offer to y'all.
Offer? I like that. We'll come up with a little code just between us friends, what we can call it in the future. But we will announce that during the acquisitions part of the podcast.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
So congrats. That was really awesome, and I love this gnome very, very much.
There, in between these.
Okay.
Right? Or over here is a good spot.
Yeah, he's cute right there. He's got legs.
Because this is going to be empty soon.
He's got long legs. Okay.
All right,
Although we can't see him, but that's okay. We can see him.
So that's your FO.
That's my FO, yep.
Let's do a cranking segment.
Okay.
So we'll go through our hose and these tubes, because they are kind of finished, but not really.
So let's talk about our process. If you don't care about this stuff, too bad. We're going to talk about it. It's our place. So let's see if we can find our first attempts at this machine. So
probably this one.
The knitting machine comes with
this
bonnet.
Was some attempt.
That was your attempt at trying to crank without a bonnet.
Yes.
Because we weren't sure. We thought we got a bonnet from Stitches Be Slippin', Melissa, whom we absolutely love. She gave us one at Knit City, Montreal, because, that's when we must have ordered we ordered the sock machine even before that one.
We ordered it after Maryland.
Yeah. So she gifted us a bonnet, and a bonnet, for those that don't know, assists with the cast on, because what you need to do for the sock machine is to have some weight to pull down the stitches, so that when the needles can grab the yarn to knit, the stitches will fall down. Otherwise, they just all bunch up and fall off the needles and stuff. So when you're first starting out, you need something to be able to add a little counterweight to. And this bonnet had split rings on it, which we can talk about some other time, but we put the bonnet on the machine, tried to do what we were doing, and it kept getting stuck. And we're like, what is happening? So we thought maybe the rings or the bonnet wasn't working so well. So we tried to cast on without a bonnet.
And this is what happened. So what it was is our tension clicks.
Yes.
There's a clicker that you change the tension. It was just not correct. So this was like night one. But finally, by the end of the night, I figured out the tension
This was also night... Oh, no, this is actually knitted. This was probably one of our first successful attempts.
Yes, of doing the waist yarn.
Yeah.
So then, once we did that...
Then we did this one. And there's quite a lot of...
some drop stitches.
Stitches, which are a pain to fix. I still need to get an idea. But at least there's some knitted fabric there. So we're like, okay, score. Then we did this one. We wanted to try to see what it would look like.
And this was with a mini.
Yeah.
that I had left over. So then there was this one, drop stitches, drop stitch, all the way down.
All the way down.
So this and this, I don't know, this actually might have been an 80-20 base too. I don't know. So that was that. And then we just kind of...
And then Kevin...
We got it.
Figured it all out.
So...
We had some success.
I cranked this tube from, this is Knitpicks Felici in...
Rusted Cabin.
Rusted Cabin. So I got this. I still have to crank the second one. Then...
So then I... Rustic
Cabin.
Yeah. And then I did... So we had a lot of Felici.
We do.
And...
a decent
amount. We had a decent amount. And then I ended up doing... we had... And most of these... most of the Felici colors, we had 2 skeins each. Because I have large feet. And 1 skein is not enough for 2 pairs of socks or a pair of socks. So then I did this guy. This is Augie, Auggie. The colors are really great.
Yeah, that's a really good colorway.
Yeah. So we did the waist yarn, and then knit a whole tube. So this is a 150-gram skein of Felici.
And we crank them on a 64 needle cylinder. And what we did too, after doing the first tube, we measured it against hand knit socks that we've done to make sure that our gauge was kind of similar. So I grabbed, I think, 3 pairs of socks. I grabbed a pair of woolen Zanache. I grabbed a pair that was patterned on the front and not on the back. So those were my Coffee Talk socks. And then I grabbed another pair of just like, I don't know, some vanilla socks. And on the socks, we get roughly 8 to 8.5 stitches per inch. When we measured these tubes, we're getting 8 stitches per inch.
Yeah.
So the gauge is
right there.
Is right where we wanted it to be. So that's why we continued cranking tubes.
Right. We didn't want to not waste the yarn because it's not a waste.
No, because we could pull it right out and keep it up again.
Absolutely. So I wanted to also do an experiment, even though we knew that the gauge was knitted or, matched what we usually knit our socks with. I took the second tube and created a sock. And my goal was to see how much of this I could actually use without having any left over. So I did. I finished a sock. So I added in the toe. I cut in the heel, did an afterthought heel, and I did 2x2 ribbing. So what I did was I cut the tube and then used whatever was left over from where I cut it to knit the cuff, the heel, and the toe, because I wanted to see, like I said, I wanted to see how much I had used, and this is all I have left over.
That's really
from
good.
The tube. So it's really good. I could have, probably done a longer leg, but this gives me about a 7-inch leg. I wear a men's US size 12 foot sneaker shoe. So my foot is 11 inches long.
Foot, sneaker, shoe?
My coffee is...
What I love actually about this is that this green is in between the green.
Yeah, so I ended up...
Did you plan that?
I did. So I cut the stripe in the middle and added the heel there.
I think that's a fun touch.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kev. Thank you. Wow, man. And then I completely solved my issue with the cuff knitting, binding off. Remember the last couple of times I was doing a toe-up sock? I do a sewn bind off. I couldn't figure out the Jenny's or Judy, whoever, JJ's loopy things. So all I did was I just bound off loosely in pattern, and then when I bound off the knit stitches, I went through the back loop, and when I bound off the purl stitches, I just purled normally. And it fits me perfectly.
Nice.
The sock fits extremely well. I'm really, really happy with the fit. The gauge is perfect. So now that we know that that's a good gauge for us, then, we started
For 75-25.
Right.
So we will have to adjust based on the yarn base.
Yes. Our next test is going to be on
Woolens and Nosh.
Woolens and Nosh, because it's a little bit of a thicker yarn. And we want to make sure that we get that gauge right, because her colorways are incredible. We have so many of them.
Yeah, we have a bunch of
like
scraps.
impossible to hand knit them all.
Yeah, we're going to use like leftovers, kind of like we did with
this one.
Yeah. To test it out.
Yeah.
Because we have some from last year's Advent, and I'm sure from other socks that we've knit that we could kind of crank with. So some other things that...
So then I did so with a cast-on bonnet that came with the machine, did not have the rings on it, and we ended up breaking it already.
Yeah, we broke a strand of yarn.
Yeah, which is fine. So they say one of the first projects you should do is, try out to make your own cast-on bonnet. And so that's what I ended up doing. So this is what a cast-on bonnet is. A lot of them are cinched together in the bottom, but I wanted to leave it open in case I needed to grab stuff from the inside. So this is a hung hem. So basically you double up, you knit, and then fold it down. And there's a picot edge here. This is what you actually put on the machine on the hooks or the needles to start your knitting with. So I made a cast-on bonnet. I don't remember the colorway of this, but I'm going to do another one.
I think it's video game related.
It might be. Rugby player.
Oh, okay.
I think this is rugby player. Yes, this is rugby player.
Okay.
So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to get some split rings and try to, same colorway and everything like that, because I have the leftover, so I probably use about half of it. And I'll use the other half to make the next bonnet, and I'll put the split rings in there. But I was really, really happy with the progress that I made with this, and the hung hem, which is exactly how you would do like a hung hem cuff on a sock. And then from there, we cranked out 2 of Kevin's colorways. One we posted on Instagram,
asking for a name, because it really was going to be a one-of-a-kind until we saw it cranked. So once we saw it cranked, I was like, oh, wow, I actually really like that, so I'm going to keep that. And so I needed a name, and then I dyed up a bunch more. So this we cranked up, and this is a full 100-gram skein of yarn. Like,
it's a lot.
So this is going to be called Snowy River. A lot of the suggestions were snow-related or a birch tree. And when I think of a birch tree, I see this picture that I saw before of it in a field of snow. People were talking river rocks. So I was walking around the house the other day and I thought of the man from Snowy River. And cowboys in like jeans and leather boots were another common
You guys
theme.
are very creative with names.
Thought the man from Snowy River kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be called Snowy River. And
you dyed up quite a bit of that, so you'll have that in the
I dyed a good amount. And then we dyed up It's Fall Y'all.
Cranked up.
It's Fall Y'all.
So gorgeous.
To see how that looks, because I've never knit with it.
It's so fall.
And it's such a fun color.
Yeah.
So we did this one as well.
Yep.
And then this way too, this is just an example of what the yarn will look like. It would not look this way if you knit a hat.
Right.
Exactly. Like the stripes aren't going to be as big or the pooling. This is just to give you an idea of what the colors look like together, right? So it would look different if you used it in a sweater or a shawl or a hat or something like that. So, but I thought doing something like this gives you an idea of how the colors play together.
Those are such good socks. They would look really cool with a fun contrast.
Yeah. So that's kind of our journey.
Yeah. And then I tried to do, I wanted to try heels. That did not go well. But I think I know what the problem is. So my goal was to try to do a sock, a full sock, a hung hem, a heel, and then leave the toe open. So I got the hung hem part done. So this is the top of the sock. And then when I went to go do the heel, the tension was not correct, and I failed to kind of secure the stitches in the front where you're going back and forth on the heel. So this was my first attempt. The hung hem worked out really well. The second one, it did not work out so well. I ended up with a drop stitch. there as well, but I didn't realize it was a drop stitch. And then you can see the beginning of the heel, and this is where things went awry. And so my tension was not correct, so I ended up dropping a whole bunch of stitches. So we watched a bunch of videos, and again, like anything else, I think it just takes practice. But I will say that cranking a tube, just a plain tube, for me is very like relaxing. The sound that the machine makes, as it grows.
So we're gonna be cranking a bunch because we're gonna use them. What we did last year around the holidays is when people came over for, I think it was Thanksgiving. We had put out 2 bins of like hats that we knit, just some like smaller projects, and we gave people the option to take anything from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank some tubes and put them in there, and we're going to give people the option to pick one and just give us their shoe size, and then we'll make them into socks for like Christmas or something.
Right.
So
okay, so
that is the cranking segment.
That's some like works in progress and finished objects as the cranking.
All right, I'm going to jump into a whip.
Okay.
All right, and it's living in my whip bag. Is this Portland leather canvas bag. This has 2 because they're the same thing but different sizes. So we're going to talk about both. So we have a christening next weekend. And we recently found out that we are both going to be a godfather to one of the twins. If you saw this a couple weeks ago, I made this for one. So this is the Kirby cardigan by Barocco, and I knit this in Barocco Remix Light. Love this.
Yeah, the fabric is incredible.
Love it. So now for our nephew, so that's for our niece. For our nephew, I wanted to do a sweater as well. So that's where I was looking for 2 skeins of DK because I want to do the anchor sweater for kids. Where is it in my good notes? And it calls for 200 grams of a DK weight, which I thought was a lot for a kid's sweater. But this is it. Petite Knit Anchor's sweater. So this is the kid version. It goes from
very cute
3 to 6 months up to 7 to 8 years.
Wow.
And it is knit on a US 6, which is a 4mm, and I thought you went down. Maybe. Oh, US 6, US 6, US 6. Yeah, I guess maybe even on this one you go down for the ribbing. Weird. I will. So I was going to make the 9 to 12 months, and I didn't have 2 skeins of matching DK that I wanted to use. So, excuse me. So I made a mistake one time when buying yarn to dye, and I bought cones instead of skeins. So I have a freaking cone of DK. Not just one, I had multiple, but that's neither here nor there. So Ray was like, oh, why didn't you use
We can knit tubes out of that. And then you can dye them.
There's no 75, it's not 75-25. So Ray said, oh, why don't you...
Does it have nylon in it?
No.
Oh.
Ray said, why don't you use some of your undyed yarn and knit a sweater and then dye it? I was like, oh, that's actually a really fun idea. So I cast on. And then, during the process of knitting, there were 4 breaks in this yarn. So I had to break it, get it back in, weave in some ends, and it actually made me angry.
Yeah.
Or frustrated.
You got frustrated.
And I'm not enjoying it, and I wasn't really happy with my cast on either. I did a tubular cast on following Andrea Mowry's video, but I started this on 16-inch circulars, and I should have gone and got the small set and done like 12-inch, just because there was too much pull between the beginning of the round, so my stitches were very stretched out at the beginning of the round, which I didn't like the look of it. So I'm going to rip this out and start over, and I'll show that in a little bit. But in the meantime, it allowed me some more time to work on my anchor sweater. So I am following the pattern called my boyfriend's size. However, I'm going to make it more of a summery fall garment. I'm going to do short sleeves, and I'm using Bardugo Remix Light in colorway 6984. I got this while I ordered it actually when we were at Skein, and they shipped it to me because they only had like 1 or 2 skeins there. So here is where I am currently. I have finished the ribbing. So it's 5 sections of a 1x1 rib that makes the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I misread the pattern and I cast on with a US 4. And I did my first section in the US 4, and then I switched needles to the US 6. And let me tell you, it actually made quite a difference. It fits incredibly well.
It fits very well. It looks good on you.
I was worried about the neck
Yeah.
line because I've seen pictures where, you know, it can be a little bit wider, as a lot of knit sweaters are.
Right.
But the neckline actually comes up over my t-shirt. So it worked out really well. So I did that first section of ribbing in a smaller needle. I did a tubular cast on with Andrea Mowry's video. And I am currently doing the raglan increases. I have about 2 left, I think. And again, this is just a joy.
Say, it looks like you're almost ready to split for sleeves.
Yeah, I have to try it on again. I'm knitting a much larger size. So I used my gauge from this sweater because it's the same yarn, same needle size. So I was like, oh, here's my gauge swatch. And the pattern calls for a gauge of 20 stitches over 4 inches. And I think I'm getting 22 or 23. So I'm getting a tighter gauge than what the pattern calls for using a DK weight yarn. So normally I would have knit probably the 45-inch chest to give me a little positive ease. I've measured my chest recently and I'm now a 41-inch instead of a 42. So that would have given me 4 inches. But because my gauge is tighter, I'm knitting the 5th size, which is a 48-inch chest. So that would give me, 7 inches positive ease. But with my gauge, it should be much tighter. Hopefully I still have some. And I tried it on, I think after finishing the 5th section of ribbing, and it fit really well. What I will do though, is that this does not have any short rows in it to give you a little extra length in the back. So after I separate for sleeves, I'll throw in some short rows. I'm going to use Michael's Ravelry notes, and I'm going to follow the ones from the Tin Can Knits Flax. I'll follow that. And
that's after you separate for sleeves?
I don't know. I think you can still do it either way.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to do it after the sleeve separation just because I already have a crap ton of markers on the needles. But I'm really happy with this. I think
I'm so impressed that the yarn is so soft and drapey, but yet it's still such good stitch definition.
And I'm still on the first skein. I have this much left of the first ball. Again, it's super generous in the yardage. You get 432 yards for a DK weight. And depending where you get it from, it's $13.50 to $14 for a ball. It's all recycled material. So it is 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. You can machine wash it in cold water on delicate and lay flat to dry. So I think it's just such a beautiful yarn, and you can see all the tweedy bits
I
in
love
here.
that, and the little pops of color every
Yeah,
once in a while in there.
this great like green teal, but then you have these light pops of blue, and like you can see the linen in it.
Yeah.
It's just such a beautiful yarn to work with. I can't believe it sat in stash for well over a year before I started working with it.
I think we have one. I bought one a while ago in like a worsted. I think there's a worsted version of this.
There is a worsted weight version of this as well.
I don't know exactly where it is, but I do remember having purchased that. I believe I got it at Webb's, to be honest.
And I think it's going to... I want to say, I think it's going to be about 22 to 26 colors they have available.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This will be done for Rhinebeck. It's actually one of the reasons I wanted to cast something on, because it can be warm. So I was like, oh, I've never made a summer or springy, warm season garment. So I thought that this would be good. And when we were at...
And even if it's
Skein,
cold, you can throw a shawl on over it or something and still have that nice...
But when we were at Skein, Lori was wearing a short sleeve version of the anchor. And then, was it Susan? Right? Who had a sweater on in this color. And then I held up like all of the colors to my face to help people.
You were on a mission.
To have people help me pick a color.
Is that what you were doing?
Sweater. Yeah.
I thought you were just trying to feel how soft it was.
No, we were putting it up to my face so we could see if it would complement my skin tone.
Ugh. I don't think I could roll my eyes any harder.
So, that is Anchor, my boyfriend size.
Very cute.
It's a fun... I mean, it's a lot of ribbing. If you don't like ribbing, that sweater's not for you. Just walk away. But if you don't mind a 1x1 rib for quite a while...
Yeah. I'm really trying not to... cast new things on, like I see I'm very jealous. Like I want to cast on with that
all
yarn
of mine
and
are
do
new
stuff. I know.
Oh, with the exception of one.
Mine, I'm trying to be monogamous, and I'll show you in a sec. I do want to talk really quickly. Can I go?
Mm-hmm.
About a little bit of a fail. And I'm a little disappointed. I'll be honest, and I think this has potential for really, really cute, and I'm going to take it out and redo it. But we purchased these kits. I purchased these kits.
I was going to say, there goes that we word again.
I purchased these kits while we were at Skein Yarn Shop. These are the Woobles Learn to Crochet kit for beginners. I just thought that the characters on here were super adorable. The kit is supposed to contain everything that you need to get started. There are darning needles, there's the safety eyes, step-by-step instructions with videos. It even includes the crochet hook, and the stuffing, all of those things. So I wanted to give it a try, and I was doing very, very well with it until I ran out of yarn, which... Kevin and I kind of had a conversation about this. Now, I am a looser crocheter. It even came with the stitch markers. So I ran out of white yarn. This is what I have so far, which is really cute, I think. So this is supposed to be a whale. So this is his little head, which is very cute with the eyes. The instructions are super easy to follow because there are video instructions as well. I just looked at the written instructions. I followed the instructions to a T. I used the included crochet hook, which is actually a good quality crochet hook.
I would say it's very similar to the Clover Amour.
Yeah, it was very comfortable to work with. This is a 4mm crochet hook. I'm not sure letter size, but I usually go by millimeters anyway. So it came with all of this. It came with the yarn. Now this yarn
is weird.
Yeah, it's like a shoestring almost. It's hard to kind of show it, but you can kind of see it there. So it reminds me of almost like shoelaces, but rounder, a little bit rounder. It creates a wonderful fabric.
You know what it reminds me?
And the colors are great.
It kind of reminds me of a sweatshirt string.
Maybe.
Like...
Yeah. but it's like nylon-y almost.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what it is in here. It just calls it yarn. But what's really cool is this does give you, it already starts it. A lot of times people have trouble, especially with amigurumi, to start like on a magic ring, or, you typically cast on, say, or chain like 6 stitches and then create a ring and then crochet into those stitches. So it came with the pre-started piece in the blue. And anyway, my frustration a little bit is that I believe that there should have been, number one, enough yarn to do the project, regardless of your gauge, especially as a beginner crocheter. I'm sure a beginner crocheter will be crocheting a little bit tighter, but I don't think that the company should depend on that to include the, when looking at the yarn. That's just my personal opinion. Because I was really on a roll and I was like, this is really cute. It doesn't take long. And I love how vibrant this blue is and the contrast with the white. I was almost ready to, I about 5 rows short. So it's a significant amount of yarn.
May I see the packaging, please?
Yes. Here you are.
Thanks.
I will also say that the pattern is a digital pattern. So you don't get a paper pattern in here. It's all online. So you get a barcode on the back and a website to go to with a password, and then you get access to the pattern.
Can you print the pattern?
I'm not sure. I didn't try.
Okay.
I don't
Just
know.
wondering.
Yeah. So I bought 5 of these kits. So I don't want to take a chance and do the other ones with the included crochet hook. I am a looser crocheter. I'm comfortable with crocheting, so I'm a little bit more relaxed with my stitches probably. But I still think that there should have been enough yarn to take that into account.
What's your gauge difference? Did you measure?
No.
Can you? I would measure
I
and
certainly
see
can.
what the difference
Yeah,
is. Because maybe you just have to go down a hook size.
And that's what I'm going to do. So my point is, that's what I'm going to do. Because these kits are not inexpensive. I think they were like $20, $25 a kit, somewhere around there.
More like 30 to 40. Okay.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Remember you were surprised when you saw the price when we showed it? 35?
30.
30.
Okay, so they're not inexpensive kits, and I'm just personally feel that there should be extra yarn to account for different gauges.
I understand what you're saying. I think that it should be something to consider when putting the kits together.
Yes.
But I also understand where they're coming from, because they're probably thinking like a new crocheter is going to be super tight crocheter, and this is meant for brand new crocheters, not experienced ones.
But I'm not that I'm experienced, but I've done crochet before, and I was drawn to these patterns, even though it says beginner. Like, I'm not going to avoid it because it says beginner.
You were just drawn because it's a kit.
And I like kits.
That's why you were drawn. Because these, like, as a experienced crocheter, you could find something very similar online and use yarn that you already have in stash and make fun versions of it.
True. I do like the yarn though for this project. I think it's going to be quite durable.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am going to do 3 kits for the babies, but I'm not going to include the eyes. I'm just going to embroider the eyes on, which they give you the black embroidery floss to do that.
Oh, good.
As well, which is great. I will definitely go down a hook size and complete these, but I was just a little bit frustrated because I felt like they should have. For $30, I feel like you should take into consideration.
And you weren't feeling well that weekend, so that definitely helped with the frustration.
I mean, I didn't throw a temper tantrum. I was just like, this is really frustrating. I was like on a roll. You know when you're sitting down? Stop it. Stop it right now. Anywho, that's my review of the kit. I think everything is superb. But for me personally, my preference is that it should take into account the gauge, the different tension or gauge that we crochet at. And I also enjoy a paper pattern for crochet for some reason.
Okay.
That's that. That was one of the fails. I have 2 more things to talk about.
I have 1, 2. I have 2 as well. All right, so my next one is a whip. We have been talking about it for since Earth's creation, pretty much. So this again is his home office by Ann Hansen.
I'm so glad that you added
and Bare Naked Wool. So I've actually, just so you guys know, I've already picked out
Can you wear a shirt and tie when you wear this out?
Sure. I have already picked out my sweater that I will be buying yarn from Bare Naked Wool from when we're at Rhinebeck. So hopefully this is the last time you guys see this as a whip. I'm knitting it out of Bare Naked Wool.
That's a lot of fabric.
Stone Soup DK in granite? No.
Mine was marble.
I think mine's granite. So, all the pieces are done and blocked. They were pinned. Here is my back piece.
Woohoo!
Here is sleeve number 1. Right? Yes. Still has a marker in it. So sleeve number 1. This is a saddle shoulder, which is kind of why this isn't put together.
You've got to think about it.
Sleeve number 2. Saddle shoulder. And the front piece of the V-neck.
Oh, that's going to look very handsome.
A pickup to knit the collar. So, all I have to do is seam this, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I've done
Maybe Robin can help.
Very minimal seaming on this. So I just have to figure out how to seam this, and then knit the collar, and it will be done. So that's the only thing that this is waiting on. All pieces are knit, blocked, pinned down, good to be seamed. So I just need to spend a day at the kitchen or the dining room table with no distractions and nothing looming over my head that needs to get done, so I could sit down and seam this. To seam it, what I'm going to do is I will use my the remainder of the yarn, but I'm gonna undo the plies so that it's thinner, so I don't have issues with a non-superwash being pulled through a non-superwash and it like felting or getting stuck. So I'm gonna try that and see if that works any better.
That's gonna be so stunning when you're done.
So yeah, that will also, the thought in my head, like planning for Rhinebeck weekend, I already have my Friday Woolen Folk outfit set. Mm-hmm. I know what sweater I'm wearing. The second piece still needs to be completed, which will be shown in a little bit. Saturday out, my sweater is that one, potentially.
Yeah.
And then Sunday would be my anchor sweater. That's the plan.
Okay. You could always reverse the two.
Yes, I'll reverse
depending on the weather.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is going to be either my Sunday or Saturday sweater. I'm going to wear, then I'm also going to wear the Bare Naked Wools one as well. And then my next whip, which I can show you now.
Yes, please.
Is potentially...
There's no reason it shouldn't.
I hope not. I hope I can finish it.
You will finish it.
So, I made quite a bit of progress on this since I last showed it. This is the House of Diamond sweater by Maxim Cyr. I had just started the color work and completed one section of it. Sorry. This is House of Diamond by Max the Knitter, Maxim Cyr. I'm using their British DK base, which is absolutely stunning to use. It is 75% BFL and 25% Masham wool. It's non-superwash DK, 268. Wow, my eyes are so old. 68 yards or 246 meters.
Use the magnifying app on your phone.
I know. I keep forgetting about that. We got a lot of feedback.
I know people love that.
That was a great tip. So the colors that I'm using, actually I can show you the sweater and then point out the colors. All right. So I finished. Oh,
So good.
isn't that good?
Yeah.
I finished the colorwork yoke completely.
Yeah, I actually said like
This is gonna be. I'm really excited about this sweater. I think it looks really cool. I did not steam this. I should have. Max had said, you know, I should probably steam it just to get a good look. But I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. Even not steamed. I cannot wait to block this. I think it's gonna be so good. So I love the collar. It is a 1x1 rib, and then folded in on itself. So it's a nice thick collar, very stretchy and very soft and comfortable. The colors that I'm using is natural. The black is Moira's Black Rose, and then this is Minnie's Wheat. Is that color there? So I love the like 3D kind of look to this with the shadows and everything. You can even see like it picks it up down here as well with the Minnie's Wheat against the black. So I completed the full yoke. I knit the body. I separated the sleeves, knit the body until I ran out of yarn. And instead of joining another skein of yarn, I was like, you know what? Let me just start on the sleeves so I don't be stuck on Sleeve Island. There's a really cool sleeve detail on this as well. And in the pattern, he calls for extra long sleeves. He likes to wear his sleeves extra long, which I will do on this, and I think it's going to look cool. But there's the sleeve detail. You've got some color work there that mirrors the color work at the very top of the sweater. And then you have like a 4-inch cuff.
it's actually different.
It's just it's like reversed.
No, it's even a
So you have like here, see?
right, but you're going to do Minnie's Wheat.
Minnie's
is going
Wheat's
to be
gonna be
this, and then you're going to use the black.
Nope, I'm going to use the gray. See?
Can you zoom out again?
Yeah.
For me? No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're using Minnie's Wheat and the gray instead of black and Minnie's Wheat.
Yep. And then this is going to be the gray here.
Yeah.
So I am going to do the extra long cuff there. So after I was done with the color work, I was a little bit unsure if I had enough yarn because I bought one skein of the Minnie's Wheat, which I have plenty left over, and this is a absolute gorgeous.
It's one of my favorite
gorgeous
colors.
Color. The natural, I also bought just one skein, and this is what I have left of the natural. It's 24.5 grams still left over. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough to do a little bit of color work and then a 4-inch cuff on each sleeve with that. So my plan is to split this up, which is another reason why I wanted to do the sleeves, because if I needed a little bit more before the end of the sweater, I can order a skein, work on the body while I wait for the skein to come to me. But I talked to Max and Vincent. We think this is going to be enough to do that. And if I have to cut the cuff a little bit shorter, we can certainly do that too. I'm not super worried about it. But this is it in natural, which I love. And then the black, I mean, you saw the black, but this is what, this is the second skein. This is the second skein of black yarn. There's a lot, I mean, I feel like I've gotten a lot done with that black yarn. So I might be able to finish my sleeve here. So I started the sleeve, I did quite a bit of the sleeve as well. Did all my decreases. And I actually put in my stitch markers where I should have.
Because which sweater did you not do that correctly on?
I don't remember.
I feel like it was...
But I picked up both of those stitches.
Was it this one?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. And I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 decreases out of 17 maybe?
Oh, wow. That's a lot of decreases.
I know, it's a lot of decreases. I could be completely wrong. I'm doing the 4th size. 2, 3, 4th. Yep, I'm doing the 4th size. And I'm using the recommended needles. This is knit on a US 5. And then I believe it's a 3 for the ribbing. I just want to see... I started with 70. stitches. Previous round. 10th row. Oh, a total of 12 times. Guess what? I have one more decreased round to go.
Good job.
That's exciting.
Guess we know what he'll be doing today.
Woohoo! Well, I want to crank some socks too. Plus, we have to do some things for the shop. Okay, so that's what I have. I'm super excited about it. There are short rows in the back. Here you can see that it's longer back here, so that'll help fit. What happened here? I mean, I have a lot of ends still to
weave in.
Okay, so here's the thing about this sweater. This sweater you're carrying for a good chunk, the majority of the colorwork section, you're using 3 colors at one time, which took me some time. I tried to take my time. I was really contemplating doing a ladder back jacquard because I tried really hard not to catch my floats at the same spot so that things didn't pop through, but sometimes the numbers didn't work, so I tried to get a little bit creative. I did leave some longer floats. I left some shorter floats, and I'm going to show you my floats. It works for me, and I think it's going to be just fine. So here are my floats on the inside. Like, some sections look okay, others I have... Oh, that was actually not that bad.
This one right here.
This one's pretty long. Yeah. So there are some long there's some long floats in there. I tried to keep it very, very relaxed and even, but it turned into a little bit of a mess. However, all the stitches are there. The colors are all there. The pattern was followed to a T. These patterns are written very,
it's
very
going to
well.
be beautiful once you're done
Thank
with that.
you. So I'm super excited about this, and I think I love the colors. I think they're stunning.
Yeah.
So that is that's my plan to wear this, to complete this and wear this to Woolen Folk Friday when we go visit the boys at their booth. And hope that we don't buy 30 skeins of yarn from them. Because I think that's a...
No, I won't buy 30 skeins of yarn. You may buy 30 skeins of... They're going to have kits, so you're just going to buy all the damn kits. So, yeah. That will happen. All right. This is my last sweat. It is living in my...
This bag, I'm so jealous. I'm so mad that I didn't buy one.
Michael made me do it in Montreal. Michael bought one, and then I was like, Michael, now I have to buy one. This is Miss Nietzsche.
Mm-hmm.
It's Harris Tweed, gorgeous bag.
Gorgeous.
And the inside is this beautiful yellow.
Speaking of bags, are we going to try for the Heidenhammer bags today?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want that.
So, I have cast on another, well, finally, I've had the yarn for a while, another Moon Bumps wrap by Maxim Sear. I'm knitting mine out of Fua Fua. So, great little tip now. Max and Vincent, Les Garçons, they just released a new base. It is a sport weight base called Fluff.
Mm-hmm.
It is a combination of baby alpaca, merino, silk, and yak. So, it can replace the Fua Fua in this shawl. And
instead of holding it to double, you would just hold that single.
Right. So, it would definitely... Fua Fua is a luxury yarn. It is not inexpensive. So, that is a great alternative to Fua Fua.
I don't know what the pricing on that yarn is.
You don't want to know.
No, their yarn.
Oh. I was like, I don't want to know the pricing of Fua Fua either. All right, so I'm doing the colorway Sand. So it is 70% brushed cashmere, 30% superwash merino. This is the Sand colorway, which I love. And I am using Spin Cycle.
Their fluff is super affordable. It's 28 Canadian dollars.
It's for 50 gram skein.
Yeah.
I don't know the colorway.
Yeah, but compared to this.
I know. I don't know the... Do I have another skein of that? I don't think so. No. I forget the name of this one. I'll have to find my yarn tag. But, oh no. I cast on. I think I was looking for something to knit, and I was like, you know what? Let's just get this started because it is a pretty quick knit, to be honest. So this is just what I have so far. I got my first 2 little I-cord stripes. I think this is going to be beautiful.
Me too.
What I think is going to be fun with this, though, is if you can see underneath this blue, I have, it's pretty, ooh, I gotta sneeze, beige.
Bless you. Change of seasons. I really am convinced, bless you, that you have allergies. I think you should start taking allergy medicine like I do.
So this is going to get to the point where all you're going to see is like a raised I-cord. It's going to blend in so nicely. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Me too.
I love the idea of the really low contrast when I get there.
Yeah.
So my plan is to have this done for Woolen Folk so that I could wear my cardigan and my moon bumps.
You'll be
even though I already have a moon bumps, but I think this under my blue cardigan with the black and white black and white spin cycle, and then this too is just going to be gorgeous. And
totally,
look, Fuafu is expensive, but I love some Fuafu. It's so good. So, and all these projects are going to be my main focus until they're done. Nothing else is.
All of them will be your main focus.
There's 4. By next weekend, this baby anchor is going to be done. It's getting cast on today. It should be done.
I do need to cast on a hat. I want to cast on a hat for the baby.
I actually feel like my anchor is going to be done pretty quickly because I'm doing short sleeves. So once the body's done, once I get like 2 inches past the sleeve separation, I'm going to go and do my sleeves just so that they're done.
Yeah. Good.
That's all my whips.
I have one more.
Okay.
I added a couple more rows to this project. This is just a granny stripe blanket that I've been working on here or there using Kevin's experimental minis that he's been kind of playing around with in the dye pots.
I wonder how many of these are actually colors. I see 1, 2.
I mean, they're all technically colors.
No, that I actually use or have.
So I think this looks so cool.
Yep.
It's going to be a nice, good size blanket, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good size blanket to snuggle up underneath. Each mini is enough to do 1 row. I do end up with a little bit left over of each mini.
And these are 10 gram
minis.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I ended up with like 3 grams or 2.7 grams of yarn left over. So that could be, another fun project if I wanted to do something using that yarn. I'm not quite sure what, but anyway, I'm using a 3.25 millimeter or a D crochet hook. These are my absolute favorite crochet hooks. These are the Clover Amour. And there's no pattern. It's just doing a granny stripe. So, all you're doing is 3 double crochets in the space here, skipping this next one, doing 3 double crochets in that space, and just following that along, and it creates this little pattern. So the edges are a little bit funky because there was kind of a pattern where you chained on one side and then just did 2 double crochets on the other side. It wasn't working for me because
it was really hard to remember.
Yeah, because I'm only going one round. I feel like if I had the yarn attached, it would be fine. But so I'm just creating a little border as I go, and then I'm going to pick up. Once it's done, I'm going to pick up and crochet a border around the entire thing. I'll probably do some double crochets. I like how this looks. This was my cast on edge here when I chained and I don't remember the exact amount that I chained. I think it was like something like 276, 278. And so I did that, and then I did a double crochet here just as a foundation chain to give me a little bit more space so that it wouldn't clump up so well. Plus, I don't like to chain with a larger crochet hook. You can certainly do that as well. to prevent the cinching together. But I liked how that looks, and I like how it kind of borders around that. So I'm going to do I think I'm just going to do a simple double crochet border around the entire thing when I'm done. But this is going to be a very long project, and I probably won't show it very often unless I make significant progress.
You could end it now and it'd be a scarf.
I know, it's a good idea. There's a ton of ends with this, but I because it's going to be a blanket and I'm going to crochet around the border, I tied the yarn on and tied the yarn off. Like I bound off that yarn at each side. So I could essentially just clip these. I'll probably just weave them through a little bit. And yeah, that's what I have there. I have a lot of yarn still to go through in my bag. Plus, I see a bunch of yarn there that needs to be caked up.
Yep.
Kevin's been caking them up for me. Otherwise, they don't get done.
Yeah, and then I'm doing 10 more colors today. Testing 10 colors today.
So I've got some
10 more.
Some work to do. But it's nice to take a little bit of a break from, from the knitting and all of those things. So
yeah. So that's all the knitting and crochet content in the shop. Like, honest to gosh, is this the same damn scheme? All right, sorry. In the shop tomorrow. So there should still be some of It's Fall Y'all on the 75-25 BFL and nylon. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten some questions about the yarn bases on our site because some of them have names like Achilles Sock. That's a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. All of the bases in the shop will have the composition of the base listed in the listing. So let's say you went to this. It would say that it's 75% BFL, 25% nylon. You just bought a bag?
Yeah. Sure did. I want that big one. But it's still processing, so that means somebody probably beat
and then
it. Oh, it's done.
We've also got a question about the difference between a BFL and a superwash merino. BFL is a bit stronger than merino because the BFL, the staple length of the wool is longer. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily as soft as some merinos. They can have the same exact micron count or micron? Is it micron?
Micron count. So
micron
24
count.
BFL starts at 24 microns and merino goes up to 24.
Right. So they could be most merinos that you would think of, I think run somewhere around like 20 to 22.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit softer, but BFL has more strength to it. So it's a good base to use for socks.
And I found this picture. I'm not quite sure exactly where I got it from because like Kevin said, we were getting some questions about the differences. So I did reply back and I found this picture and it's really good. I just searched for like merino versus BFL wool, and it's a little like pictogram kind of thing talking about the differences in using BFL over merino, and kind of talks about how the BFL socks are slightly less soft but more durable, less likely to wear out, has better rebound and memory, won't stretch out as much.
Yeah, it's
Things
really
like
a beautiful base. I've knit with it before too. I bought some from Ching Fiber, a kit from Stephen and Penelope, and I knit one of his shawls in it, and it was just so much fun to knit with. It's a beautiful base.
And it does feel like soft, but but like
stronger.
Strong.
It's
like,
weird. It's
this is a great sock.
Not like crunchy. You can just tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
Either way, It's Fall Y'all.
Oh, sorry, I kicked the iPad pod.
It's fine. I've been dyeing up a bunch of it because you all have been buying it like crazy, so thank you. And Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady bought some and showed it on her
I know,
podcast,
that was so
that
nice.
was really fun. And Denise from Earth Tones Girl bought some for her sock cowl. They both have like fall cowls going on.
I love this time of year.
So that's really
fun. We had
fun.
our first pumpkin iced coffee.
I know. I've had multiple actually.
You did?
Yep, I had one yesterday.
What do you go out every day?
No. I was out yesterday, so I got one. So this, and then I'm going to have it on 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon DK. Will be in the shop tomorrow. This is on the BFL. Oh, here it is on the DK.
Samesies. Good job. You're very consistent.
Snowy River.
I love this. It came out so
on
nice.
75-25 superwash merino fingering. This is on 100% superwash merino 2-ply. It is a very dark purple. It has no name yet.
I think midnight or something like that would be cool.
I don't know, but it's a really deep purple. I'm actually super happy with this. And this is going to be confusing because these look so similar and they're not. When they're held together, they look almost exactly alike. But when they're together but apart, they look different. So these are two grays that I was messing around with. I had samples, like little minis.
You can definitely tell this one's lighter.
And they looked incredibly different. This one is darker. This one's lighter. This has more blue in it. So on here, it's a very slight difference. But it blows my mind because on my minis, they were very different. So I have to figure these out. But I'm going to have them in the shop.
I think you should choose your favorite one.
And that would be the one
that would be the one that you keep, and then do the other one as a one of a kind.
I'm probably going to keep this one and lighten this one.
Okay. So we'll sell these as a one of a kind.
Yeah. These will be a single brew, and these will be listed under the 100% superwash.
Whatever.
And this is a 2-ply. And then there's a bunch of tonals still in the shop. I don't know if any of them would work together for the Stephen West MCal. But have a look, see.
Yeah, we still have some pack-ups as well for the Let's Hear It for the Boys. So we have some stickers, pins, and bags still put together.
Sorry to interrupt. If you look over there, don't they look completely different now?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that mind-boggling?
Totally. It depends on like the lighting and stuff.
It depends how far apart they are from each other. Like when they were hanging drying, I was like, oh, they're clearly different. Yeah. And then I took them off. I was like, they're clearly not.
Right.
But they are. So, yeah, so Let's Hear for the Boys. We still have some pack-ups in the shop. And I think that's everything.
Yeah. So the shop is needlesattheready.com.
Yes.
And we'll have that link down below.
All right. So last up is what we've been reading and watching.
Already? We're there?
Oh, no. Lies. We have Breaking the Bank and Owl Post.
Uh-oh, I have to tinkle.
Well, you can hold it. I don't have... Oh, I have some Owl Post. This was really cute.
I have Owl Post as well. I don't think I have any Breaking the Bank.
I do.
I know you do.
So this came... I just picked it up yesterday, actually. So this is from Tammy, who's a fan... of the podcast, and she sent a bag and like a Notions pouch. It's not for a shop, and this is the bag.
I can't. It's so good.
Look at Betty
That
White.
fabric is amazing.
I know. Great zipper, got a handle, and got a little sheepy progress keeper. And then this...
That was really sweet of her to do.
Says, not today, Satan.
Not
Some
today.
flowers. This has a... Oh, it clips, so you could clip it. Can you clip it on the inside?
Yeah,
Sometimes...
clip it here.
Oh, you can clip there. And then zipper. So some room for your stitch marks.
So I use something similar to store my needle stoppers. My collection of needle stoppers.
What I actually want to do is... get a couple episodes ago, Jana was showing some containers that she bought from the Container Store.
Yeah.
I want to get one because I want to put not stitch markers, but all the progress keepers and things like that in one. Because mine are kind of
Mine are all on a
hook,
big ring.
On a ring, yeah. I would like to have it in a little plastic container.
Okay.
So, thank you very much, Tammy. We appreciate this.
Yeah.
This bag is cute.
It's fun. It just came yesterday, and
Yeah.
I got home from work, and it was sitting on the island.
And I
I'm
was on the
like,
phone, and
who
he was
just
like,
sent Rose Nyland giving us the finger?
I know.
It was very cute.
So thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. This is just like one of those. This is just a really funny kind of thing. This person had thought about us, especially when we were talking about Let's Hear It for the Boys. Had meant to send these a while ago. This is from Deb. The
card's cute.
The card's very cute.
Look.
Yeah.
Little sheepies.
Mm-hmm. But she thought it was a hoot. These, I believe, belong to her mom. These are knitting patterns for guys from back in the day. So, look at the back.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, Michael would probably want to do something.
Wait a second. All right. We all have to make that sweater.
Totally.
Because our belts go through it with our buckles.
Right.
Every guy who's watching this right now
needs.
I need you to knit this sweater.
And it's interesting, and how patterns have changed. Like if you actually, like I was looking through some of the patterns. Each one of these patterns, when Kevin's done looking, I can show you, is for the entire sweater, and it's only like this big is the pattern.
It's like a birth announcement in the newspaper. Like literally, this is the pattern.
Yeah, these are all of the different patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterns on these, between these two pages.
This would be a 100-page digital download book on Ravelry for $25.
Totally. I mean,
if
these
not more.
Like these look a little bit complicated. There's like ribbing and textures and all sorts of things.
So,
yeah,
this is.
I mean, they're classic. It could be cool. I just thought it was really she hit it out of the park when she sent it to us.
I love it.
It's really
I want to know. Like,
I wonder what year that's from. The 70s.
This pooling is so intentional. I need to.
But some of these pooling, like this pooling, is not.
All right, let's look at Banker's Black. Please, you continue.
Okay. Then this is from 2013. This is another magazine. I'm gonna cover her name with some patterns in here, and she marked one of the patterns for us, which is actually kind of cool. I wouldn't wear it zippered the way that it is. I think the picture's a little bit funny, but that's a cool texture for a sweater with like a zippered collar. But this has some men's patterns in here as well. There's an advertisement for Miss Babs. Wow, it's been around for a little bit. There's some cool Argyle vests and hat patterns and stuff in here, and scarves. So this is really cool. And then this is another classic magazine. All styles, all weights, all sizes to 46. So not very size inclusive. But it includes a Choose-O-Matic, which helps you choose the style you want and the weight of yarn you want in the yarn that you want. See page 2.
So this one's actually not very size inclusive either, but it's interesting to see, and that to see how things have changed. This comes in 4 sizes. So 38, 40, 42, 44 inch chest.
But here's the thing, like this is a legit classic sweater.
Do you think we've just made knitting so complicated that we need 15-page ebooks for one pattern?
I think knitting is becoming much more accessible.
Okay.
To people of all different backgrounds and skill levels. And I think like having somebody, for me specifically, like I probably would get frustrated if I don't know what you mean. Like my family didn't pass down their knitting traditions over the years, and that's not been something that's been part of our lives. And I think for a lot of, back then, I think the people that knit, it was passed down to them, you know what I mean? And taught to them by people. And so they have an idea of what it is.
No, but I'm just thinking, like, looking at the back, it's about 3 sentences. And I'm like, okay, like,
yeah,
it's not, I mean, you could do it.
Yeah.
But it also has your back, your armholes, then your shoulders, then left front, right front.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that these are really cool. Like this book has a little ruler in the back of the magazine, helpful information, abbreviations, what they stand for, weaving in ends. I don't know. I love this stuff. I think it's really cool to look back at that. So that was one of those fun things.
Okay, you keep going. You have more.
Okay, I have one last thing, and this is part of our prize
that we're going to offer to y'all.
We're going to be offering this to you. So, Laura, over at Always Be Kind Yarn, we did not know what was coming, but this is beautiful. It was packaged up really, really well.
Yes.
This is her Always Be Kind Yarn Fall Frolics Seasonal Sock Kit. I'm hoping that this was not a surprise.
The other one is the fall. This is not the fall.
I'm not here yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a process in mind. What I'm doing. Yep.
Okay.
So this is, I'm hoping that this wasn't a, mystery to show, but I'm going to show it. So if you are getting this and you're not supposed to know, don't look, but I'm going to show it. So this is her Fall Frolics kit. She offered it in, I don't know why I'm shaking. She offered it in DK as well as fingering. She's offering us a coupon code as well. So I'm going to give that to you now. And then as we go through this pack up, if it's something you want to browse, please do. The coupon code is NATR KIND, KIND 20. And that gets you 20. That gets you 20% off of any purchase through the end of the year, which is so generous.
Yes.
Cute little card in here with a note to us. All right, you ready? So this is what comes in the kit. So it's packaged up really, really nicely. There's a cool little sticker there. And inside, this is separate. Inside, you have a self-striping yarn. Fall Frolics is the colorway name. This is the fingering weight. So it is self-striping, and it is so pretty. And it comes with 2 coordinating minis, which I actually love the little band in there too. So these go together. It also comes with a cute little baggie full of candy. There's some kisses in there. There's some fun stickers. What a great kit. Here, this one's cute. I think this one's just for you. It came with a little stash tee and some fall stitch markers in there. There's a maple leaf, a couple of different leaves. There's pine cones. Oh my god, these are so cute. And then also, which are my absolute favorite, it comes with the needle stoppers that I love so much. Always Be Kind yarn. It says flannels, hay rides, pumpkins, sweaters, bonfires. And there's 2 different styles. There's the dice style, and then there's the round style there. Probably can't see. There you go. Very, very cute. She also sent us, as part of her Pride set, she does a lot of, obviously Always Be Kind and the rainbow. She's, they're very, very supportive and inclusive. So, sent us a beautiful self-striping Pride set along with coordinating minis, self-striping. This is inclusive Pride stripes, and this is the flag with the inspiration. Some really cool stitch markers on here as well. Also, which again, I can't say enough about, more of the needle stoppers. Love is Love, which I have on my sweater. And this one is a gnome, a Pride gnome. Look at the rainbow and everything. And then some rainbow colored balls. And so the prize that we're offering to you, or that she's offered to you, is your very own Pride set. This is the Pride Ally Stripes kit. So you've got the self-striping yarn, you've got a coordinated mini, and you also have the needle stoppers on the end there. So we are... Oh, and look at the stitch marker in there.
Yeah, cute.
And there's stitch markers. So, this, we will draw a winner on the next podcast. So comment below the word pride. Pride.
Okay.
Okay? And then we'll draw a winner and we'll ship that out to you. Honestly, we are beyond grateful for this. I think you did a great job putting together this package. Stunning.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely stunning. So thank you.
And
Maybe we'll crank that on a tube.
And that's it for Owl Post.
That's it for Owl Post.
I made some purchases, and these were all done yesterday because I needed to go out to find some yarn to do the baby anchor. So my first stop was, I checked Barocco's site to see what stores around here offered it. My first stop was Yarn Barn in Woodbridge. I didn't find it there, but I bought some eucalyptus because you can never have too much eucalyptus.
No, that's a nice big bottle. What flavor?
Eucalyptus.
Oh.
And then I saw this yarn on sale. It is a worsted weight. It is 100 grams, and it was already caked up, and it was like $7.
That's really good.
Ella Ray Classic. So I'm thinking a cabled hat. And then for the sock machine, I thought doing a Regia Perfect Pair would be cool because it has the break in the middle. So it might be easier to, because then we could just crank it. And I like this. Some of them, the patterning could be weirdish on it, but I like this because it's just striped on the leg and then one main color on the foot. So I think that these will look interesting once they're done.
Yeah, me too.
So that was that. And then after I left there, I went to Knit New Haven. I also needed to get buttons for this cardigan. So
I think you did a great job.
For the baby anchor for our nephew, I'm going to use Remix Light in this colorway, which is 6989.
It's a good color.
So it's a nice like foresty green. And I thought it was, I just think it's a nice dark green. And then I also got...
You are so obsessed with this yarn base.
Well, I want to do...
This is really stunning.
I want to do baby vertebrae for them as well. So I've got this one for our niece and then this one for our nephew.
This is so nice, like a peachy salmon color?
No. It's yellow.
No.
Yes.
What?
Welcome to my life. Like, so it's really funny.
I don't know. There's like a little orangey,
no, it's more like
pinkish undertone.
No, that's more like Minnie's wheat.
Wrong.
It's a golden yellow.
It's a orangey peach.
And then this is a nice like.
Who's team orangey peach?
Anybody else who's colorblind. And then this will be for the other baby vertebrae. And then for the sweater, you only need 3 buttons. So I got these little things.
How cute. They're going to be so cute.
Give a little pop of color.
Yeah.
Has the pink in it. So I just thought that these would be cute.
Agreed.
I actually have to find the other ones that I bought, I think with a fox on it for the other sweater. But that I don't need to find till October 1st, so. But yeah, so that was my purchases yesterday.
Great
it's
job.
Probably the least amount of money I've ever spent at a yarn store.
Well, it's not like we have yarn festivals and 2 other yarn shops that we're going to be visiting over the next 2 weeks.
True. Very true. So, on to reading and watching. Watching's been super easy, actually. I've watched a lot of the tennis. The US Open was on for 2 weeks, so watch that.
Yeah.
We finished watching Star Trek Season 2 of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
We only had 1 episode left, so we finished that.
That was good.
It's a great series. And then we finished Season 2 of SEE on Apple TV Plus with Jason Momoa. And that's just such a good show.
It really is.
It's very violent. So if you don't like violence, don't watch it.
Agreed.
But I thoroughly enjoy it. And then book-wise, I have finished 2 books, and I have started a 3rd one. I'm obsessed with Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. I've read books 1 and 2. Book 1 is called Red Rising. Book 2 is called Golden Sun. Right?
Mr. Sun?
Yes, Golden Sun, and I'm currently reading the 3rd book in the trilogy called Morning Star. This book series takes place in the future, like
way out.
Way out. We can't even see how far out. And it takes place on Mars, which our main character, the entire trilogy is told from his point of view only. So our main character is Darrow. Darrow. He is a red.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah, and it goes from gold
like a
to
class
red.
System.
Yeah, the class system. Gold is the highest. Red is the lowest. He is a red. He lives on Mars, and the Reds on Mars and these colonies mine helium-3. So that is where we start.
Which is needed for terraforming.
Yes, for terraforming Mars, so that the people of Earth could come and colonize it. And then from there, it's just a freaking amazing sci-fi, but not story with politics and so much like character growth and world building. I will say, however, book 1, it takes a bit to take off. I want to say you have to get through chapter 6 or 7. Once I got to whatever chapter it was and the chapter ended, I was fully invested. 110%. And I don't know. I love the series. Book 2, the ending blew my mind. I probably should have read the final chapter again, because I read for like 2 hours. I didn't go to bed till like midnight that night that I was reading it, because I wanted to finish it. And I feel like I just sat in bed for a minute with my mouth just like gaping open. Like, what the hell did I just read? What just happened? And I love the main character. I love Darrow's progression through all 3 books. This book, especially because he's very different than he was in the first 2 books. I don't know. And there's now, I think, 7 books in the series.
And because Kevin's been so passionate, I started listening to Red Rising on Audible. It's free with Audible Plus. So I needed another book to start, and I started listening to that. So I'm on chapter 3, I think, and I'm into it. I think it's good. But because I think Kevin has been so passionate, I wanted to start it.
And I will say, the beginning is slow, and their vocabulary's a bit different than what we use. Not much, but there's certain words where like they combine them, and it's their slang. Their slang is very different than what we are used to, and what they call like a television, for example, or something is like different. So it took me a little bit just to get used to the vocabulary in it, reading it. And I remember having to go back and like, what the hell are they talking about? But like I said, once I want to say it was chapter 6 or 7. Then after that, I was like, okay, you sold me. And now it comes up on my TikTok all the time, all these people who are reading it and talking about it. And I agree with them 110%.
Good.
So that's it for me.
Okay. Like I said, I started listening to Red Rising. I finished Black Ops, which was book 4 of the Expeditionary Force by Craig Alanson. I've been listening to that on Audible. I absolutely love this series so much. Unfortunately, only the first one is free on Audible Plus. So I'm out of credits, so I have to wait, which is why I started this series as well. I think this book does a very good job with character development and relationships, and it's very humorous. It's there's action in it. It's really, really good. It does take place in our current times, but it is sci-fi. The main characters have a starship that they take. It's a pirate ship, kind of. situation what they call it, and they I don't want to give away a lot, but they try to save humanity, and with their little beer can, which is hilarious. So I highly recommend that series, and listening to it. I can't remember the guy's name who narrates it, but he's fantastic. Really, really great job. I did finish I was gonna say Princess of Power. That's She-Ra, right?
That is She-Ra.
The Princess of Potential, which is by Delemhach, Delemhach. It is in the House Witch series. It is the next iteration of that. Takes place 20 years later, and you've got a new set of characters that you're going to be following. There is going to be more, because the book did end on like a little bit of a cliffhanger. But I love that they intertwine the characters from the first books who you grow to love, and they are very much into that. So I loved it. Highly recommend it. Cannot wait for the next one to come out. I read that on my Kindle, and then I started reading. Oh shoot! What am I reading now? Let's check my Kindle. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah.
What's the House Witch? No.
Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo.
Ninth House? Yes, the Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Thank you. It's modern day, kind of like, remember that movie with
The Skulls?
The Skulls, yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah. So the main character,
that was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It's a goes to Yale, and in Yale, they have like secret societies who dabble in magic, and there's 8 societies that are like the big ones that actually can perform like rituals and magic and make, changes. There are ghosts and stuff, and our main character has the ability to see them. They call them Greys. So she has a natural ability to see them. There's a lot of darkness in this. I was actually kind of creeped out in a couple of chapters, which kind of creeped me out, especially reading it at nighttime. It's not by all scary, but it kind of creeped me out a little bit. I really like it. I can't wait to find out what happens. I mean, so far I think we're like a 3.5 to almost 4 stars on the book. I'm not sure if there are more. There probably are. So we'll see how this one ends. If it continues to, I'm about halfway through. So if it continues to progress, then I'll probably continue the series.
And she's the author of the Shadow and Bone.
And Bone.
She's the author of the Grishaverse.
Yeah.
So
she's a very good writer, and she's very descriptive in her writing. But you kind of have to pay attention because the tone changes a little bit depending on which perspective, and you do kind of time hop a little bit, but by just a couple of months.
Okay.
But she does a really good job, so I'm really enjoying that as well.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all we have for you today. So
that was a lot.
Thank you so much for sticking around and spending some time with us. We will be back in either 2 or 4 weeks.
And we'll try to post an update when we know on YouTube under the announcement thing, and on Instagram. So please be sure to follow us on both places so that you can get notifications.
Yep. And if it is in 2 weeks, it will be on Sunday, not Saturday. And then the yarn that I showed of ours will be in the shop tomorrow at noon Eastern time.
Yes. And please get in your entries for Let's Hear It for the Boys. That will be ending this month if we don't talk to you before that.
And that's on our Ravelry group.
Yes.
Our Ravelry group.
And that's linked as well down below. And we do have a hashtag, hashtag NATRBoys2023. And hopefully we'll see some of you in Brooklyn. Maybe we'll see some of you over at Skein Yarn Shop in Rhode Island.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we hope you guys have a good,
let's just say fortnight.
A good 2 weeks, and we will see you all in a fortnight. Bye, guys.
Bye.